Hello, everyone. I'm Tommy Lahren, along with Joey Jones, Kaylee McGee-White, and Kevin Cork. And this is a brand new hour of the Big Weekend Show. President Trump is standing by Attorney General Pam Bondi, saying she's done a great job running the Justice Department, and he's calling on her to take action against the Democrats who weaponize the justice system against him, including California Senator Adam Schiff, New York Attorney General Letitia James, and former FBI Director James Comey. But Democrat Senate leader is calling out the Trump administration for investigating serious allegations.
I think it's a real threat to democracy, Dana. This is the path to a dictatorship. That's what dictatorships do. It is so very, very frightening and damaging to our republic.
Oh, the hypocrisy is thick. Joining us now is Texas Congressman Brandon Gill, who's also a member of the House Judiciary and House Oversight Committees. Congressman Gill, it's great to have you. I'm so happy to have you on this topic as well. You know, my partner in crime over here, Kevin Cork, has been saying, unless we're seeing people in handcuffs and zip ties, you know, we want to see these investigations actually result in some consequences. Right. You're the perfect person for us to ask. Do you think that we're going to get an investigation that's actually going to result in somebody having to pay a price for what they've done to our current president?
Well, I think we are, and thanks for having me on. Listen, I think that what President Trump is asking here for is simply justice. He's simply recognizing that the entire administrative state was going after him during his presidency and after his presidency, trying to attack him, trying to ruin his life, trying to ruin his finances. You saw the entire legal system weaponized against him. You saw the raid at Mar-a-Lago, which eventually led, I think, in many ways to the assassination attempt against President Trump, as you saw Democrats across the country becoming more and more radicalized against him, partly because of these investigations. And listen, President Trump is saying, we just want justice. We just want to see accountability for what happened during the Biden administration.
Congressman, you're in the House of Representatives. You know, I always joke that you never stop campaigning because 2 years is such a short time now. We're coming into midterms. Do you feel like the Republicans in the House give up any collateral going into a campaign season if investigations become top line with everything else going on?
No, listen, that's what the American people wanted. Whenever they voted for President Trump, whenever they voted for House Republicans and allowed us to maintain the majority and keep the majority in the Senate, what they wanted was a government that was going to seek justice, that was going to go after wrongdoers and perpetrators, just like the people who weaponized our legal system against the president, just like the people who weaponized the deep state against our president. That's what they're looking for. And listen, that's what we need to see in order to right this ship, in order to turn things around and get our DOJ and our justice system and our administrative state back on sort of the straight and narrow, where it's looking for justice, it's looking for accountability, and it is not being politically weaponized.
Congressman, Chuck Schumer isn't the only one attacking Trump. Hillary Clinton had her first TV interview in Trump's second term, and she echoed the left's dangerous rhetoric when responding to Trump's crackdown on violent far-left groups. Watch this.
They are going to try to root out what they describe as a kind of network of left-wing institutions that in some way have made this happen or encouraged this kind of political violence. What is your reaction to that?
Well, I think this is right out of the authoritarian playbook. It's a very dangerous turn in our politics that this may, lead to even further political action, legal action, prosecutorial action, intimidation of all kinds.
Congressman, I was saying this to my colleagues earlier. The Democrats do not seem to understand what is happening in this country at this moment. This is just an incredible head in the sand moment from Hillary Clinton and from other top Democrats.
You know, it is, and it's rich to hear this from all people of Hillary Clinton, who is a major proponent of the Disinformation Governance Board, which was an Orwellian administrative division within our federal government directing social media companies what posts they should be censoring and which ones they shouldn't. Hillary Clinton has been on the front lines of censorship for several years now. And now for her to turn around and suggest falsely, by the way, that Republicans are engaging in the same activity that she has been promoting for many years, I think is unbelievably rich. What Republicans are simply saying, as we all know, is that it's disgusting and abhorrent to celebrate the death of a political figure, a political assassination. That's wrong, and it has no place here. By contrast, of course, we remember the Democrats. What they were doing is they were censoring people's social media posts for saying that men can't get pregnant. I mean, the comparison just isn't even there. It's ridiculous.
Congressman Kevin Corke here, and I just want to say, as an aside, if I'm ever in trouble, I would love for you to be my criminal defense attorney. The way you interrogate people on Capitol Hill is just next level. Him and John Kennedy are just amazing at that. Let me get your take on this. I think a lot of people are watching today, and they feel like the need for justice is there. You heard Tommy allude to it. What do you want Americans to know about what House leadership is doing right now to right the ship, to not just carry out the aims and goals of those of us who put you in office and send you there to Capitol Hill to do our bidding? What do you want the American people to know, again, about justice and making sure that we, all of us, can count on our leaders in government to do the right thing regardless of party?
Well, listen, let me tell you something related to justice about Charlie Kirk. You know, Charlie Kirk's funeral was earlier today. I was watching it with my wife, Danielle. Charlie Kirk was 31 years old, same age I am. We have children who are roughly the same age. And watching that reminded me of one of the early church fathers, Tertullian, and something that he had written, which is that the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church. And I think that's what you're seeing with the conservative movement here, which is the people who went after Charlie Kirk believed, his assassin, believed that by shooting him, by murdering him, he could silence the message that Charlie Kirk was putting out there, that he could damage the conservative movement. And what you've seen is the exact opposite. You've seen conservatives rally behind his message, rally behind his movement. You've seen millions of people today alone hear the gospel message. You've seen conservatives galvanized in a way we haven't seen in decades. And let me tell you what that means for us in Congress. That means that we are going to go after the people who are inciting violence against conservatives. This is a political problem on the left that we have to address. We're doing that in just a couple weeks on the House Oversight Committee, where we're going to be bringing in the heads of multiple platforms that are filled with hate and with calls for violence against conservatives. I'm thinking of platforms like Steam and Discord and Twitch, places that these people congregate and they plan how to physically harm conservatives. Those are the people that we're going to go after. I think that's the first step here.
Congressman Brandon Gill, thank you so much for joining us, especially on such an important night as tonight.